Have you ever wondered if everything you see inside a WWE ring is really as real as it looks? Millions of fans have spent decades believing they were witnessing unscripted rivalries, shocking betrayals, and unforgettable moments. But behind the flashing lights, sold-out arenas, and championship celebrations lies a hidden world filled with carefully protected secrets. Some of these stories changed wrestling forever, while others were buried because WWE never wanted fans to know the truth. From backstage politics and controversial decisions to shocking incidents that nearly destroyed careers, these are the dark secrets that reveal what really happens behind the curtain. By the time we reach the final secret, you'll see WWE in a completely different way. Welcome back to Ring Insights, the place where we uncover the untold stories, hidden history, and biggest mysteries from the world of professional wrestling. If you're passionate about WWE and want to discover the truth behind the legends, rivalries, and unforgettable moments, make sure you subscribe and join our growing community. Now, let's step behind the curtain and uncover the secrets WWE tried its hardest to keep hidden. Professional wrestling has always balanced entertainment with reality. Fans know the matches are planned, but what many don't realise is that some of the biggest moments in WWE history were shaped by real-life drama, personal conflicts, business decisions, and unexpected accidents. The company has worked hard to protect its image for decades, but over the years, former superstars, leaked documents, interviews, and documentaries have revealed stories that were never meant for the public. One of the darkest secrets involves the incredible amount of backstage politics that determines who becomes a champion and who quietly disappears from television. Fans often believe that the most talented wrestler naturally rises to the top, but the reality has rarely been that simple. Relationships with management, trust from executives, merchandise sales, media appearances, and even personal attitudes backstage can influence who receives the biggest opportunities. Many talented wrestlers have admitted that they were never given a fair chance, despite impressive performances. Some watched less experienced performers receive championship opportunities simply because management believed they represented the company's image better. Others found themselves losing important matches after disagreements with officials. While WWE has always described these decisions as creative choices, numerous former superstars have suggested that backstage influence played a much bigger role than fans realised. Perhaps one of the most famous examples of backstage power involved legendary figures who had enough influence to shape storylines, decide match outcomes, or protect their own positions at the top. Younger wrestlers often found it difficult to break through because established stars wanted to remain the centre of attention. This invisible battle behind the scenes affected careers for years without fans ever knowing what was really happening. Another secret revolves around the intense physical pain hidden behind every performance. WWE presents its superstars as nearly unstoppable athletes, capable of surviving impossible punishment week after week. What audiences rarely see is the incredible suffering many wrestlers endure just to make it through a single match. Broken bones, torn muscles, damaged necks, severe concussions, and chronic back injuries have become almost routine in professional wrestling. Some performers have wrestled with fractured ribs that made every breath painful. Others competed despite torn ligaments that required surgery immediately afterward. Many continued performing because they feared losing their television spot if they took time off to recover. Painkillers became a major part of wrestling culture for many years. Some former wrestlers admitted they relied on medication simply to get through matches, travel schedules, and constant training. Others developed dangerous addictions that followed them long after their wrestling careers ended. WWE has since introduced wellness policies and medical improvements, but many veterans believe these changes came only after years of preventable suffering. Perhaps even more disturbing is the demanding travel schedule that fans rarely consider. Wrestlers may perform several nights every week, while constantly flying across the country or driving hundreds of miles between events. Sleep becomes limited, injuries accumulate, and family life often suffers. The glamorous television presentation hides an exhausting lifestyle that pushes both the body and mind to their limits. Another secret that remained hidden for years involved how much control WWE maintained over its performers' public image. Superstars were expected to represent the company not only inside the ring, but also during interviews, charity appearances, television shows, and even on social media. Every public appearance carried expectations about how they should behave. For decades, many wrestlers stayed completely loyal to their assigned characters, even outside arenas. Heroes avoided acting like villains in public, while villains refused to smile for young fans because maintaining the illusion was considered extremely important. Breaking character could damage storylines and reduce audience investment. As wrestling evolved and social media became unavoidable, keeping these fictional personalities alive became increasingly difficult. Fans suddenly gained access to the real lives of their favourite superstars. Friendships between rivals were discovered online, family vacations appeared on Instagram, and wrestlers openly joked together despite supposedly hating each other on television. This new level of transparency forced WWE to adapt, but it also exposed how carefully the company had controlled information for decades. Many longtime fans realised that what they believed was genuine conflict had actually been carefully managed entertainment. The next secret centres around contracts that gave WWE remarkable control over many aspects of a wrestler's career. While becoming a WWE superstar represented the dream of countless athletes, signing with the company often meant accepting strict limitations. Wrestlers frequently needed approval for outside appearances, movie roles, sponsorships, and independent projects. Some were unable to use the ring names they had built before joining WWE because the company owned the trademarks. Others discovered they couldn't immediately work elsewhere after leaving due to contractual restrictions. Several former stars have publicly discussed frustrations over creative direction. Some pitched new character ideas that were rejected. Others waited months without appearing on television, despite remaining under contract. While fans wondered why certain wrestlers suddenly vanished, the real explanation often involved creative disagreements or company decisions rather than injuries. There were also situations where talented performers requested their release, but remained contractually tied to WWE for extended periods. These stories sparked major debates among fans regarding performer freedom and the balance between business interests and personal careers. Even more surprising is how often WWE quietly changed history. Over the years, controversial moments disappeared from official highlight packages. Interviews were edited, commentary was rewritten, and documentaries presented revised versions of past events. New fans sometimes learned a completely different version of history than those who watched the original broadcasts. When business relationships changed or former stars joined competing promotions, references to those individuals occasionally became less common. Certain controversial storylines faded from official discussions, while others were reintroduced years later with different explanations. WWE has always controlled one of the largest wrestling video libraries in history, giving the company enormous influence over how future generations remember the past. Many fans accepted these revised narratives without realizing that important details had been removed or altered. Only longtime viewers, wrestling historians, and archived footage revealed how much the official version had changed over time. These first few secrets already reveal a side of WWE that most casual fans never get to see. Behind every championship celebration, dramatic rivalry, and unforgettable match exists another story, unfolding far away from the cameras. It's a world where politics can shape careers, injuries are hidden behind smiles, contracts influence futures, and history itself can be rewritten. And believe it or not, the secrets we've uncovered so far are only the beginning. The stories ahead become even darker, involving shocking real-life incidents, controversial decisions, and backstage moments that WWE would have preferred remained hidden forever. The next secret exposes something WWE has often tried to avoid discussing publicly: how real-life rivalries backstage have sometimes become more intense than anything fans ever saw on television. While scripted feuds are designed to entertain, genuine personal conflicts have occasionally turned locker rooms into battlefields. Not every superstar got along with their co-workers. Differences in personality, ego, experience, and competition for television time created an environment where tensions could rise quickly. There have been stories of heated arguments, shouting matches, and even physical confrontations behind the curtain. In some cases, two wrestlers refused to travel together or even speak to one another outside of their scheduled matches. Veteran performers sometimes believed younger stars hadn't earned their spot, while rising talents felt they were being held back by established names protecting their positions. These disagreements didn't always stay behind closed doors. Sometimes they influenced storylines, match outcomes, and even career opportunities. One famous example involved wrestlers refusing to cooperate in the ring because of real-life resentment. Others intentionally made matches more physical than planned, blurring the line between scripted entertainment and genuine anger. Fans often assumed they were witnessing excellent acting, when, in reality, some of those intense exchanges reflected authentic emotions. Another dark secret involves the enormous pressure WWE places on its performers to constantly reinvent themselves. Wrestling fans are known for wanting something new, and staying relevant requires more than simply winning matches. Superstars are expected to develop fresh characters, memorable catchphrases, unique entrances, signature moves, and marketable personalities. If a character fails to connect with audiences, it can disappear almost overnight. Some wrestlers spent years creating gimmicks that never reached television. Others were given characters they personally disliked, but had no choice except to perform them. History is filled with examples of talented athletes who were transformed into bizarre or comedic characters because creative teams believed the ideas would entertain audiences. While a few eventually embraced those roles and found success, many others struggled to recover from gimmicks that damaged their credibility. For every legendary superstar who became a household name, dozens of equally talented performers quietly disappeared because their character simply failed to connect. Fans usually blamed the wrestlers themselves, never realizing how little control many performers actually had over the roles they played. Another secret that shocked many longtime fans was how unpredictable the creative process could be. Contrary to popular belief, not every storyline is planned months in advance. Scripts are often rewritten just hours before a live broadcast. There have been countless reports of wrestlers arriving at the arena expecting one match, only to discover completely different plans moments before going live. Entire storylines have been cancelled minutes before television broadcasts because management changed direction. This constant uncertainty creates enormous stress. Wrestlers spend hours preparing for interviews, entrances, and matches that may never happen. Production crews, commentators, referees, and camera operators must quickly adjust to last-minute decisions, while making everything appear perfectly organised to viewers at home. Although fans see a polished television product, the reality backstage can sometimes resemble controlled chaos. Perhaps one of WWE's most closely guarded secrets involves how much influence business partnerships have on creative decisions. Wrestling is entertainment, but it is also a global business worth billions of dollars. Major sponsorship agreements, television contracts, international events, merchandise sales, and media appearances all influence which superstars receive the spotlight. A wrestler who attracts mainstream attention may become more valuable than someone who simply delivers outstanding matches. Sometimes championship reigns have reportedly been extended because a superstar was appearing in advertisements or representing WWE at major promotional events. Other times, storylines have changed to support upcoming business opportunities rather than purely creative reasons. Fans naturally expect championships to reward athletic performance within the storyline, but behind the scenes, financial considerations often become part of the conversation. Another secret involves the emotional and psychological challenges many wrestlers face throughout their careers. WWE celebrates confidence, charisma, and larger-than-life personalities, but maintaining that image every day can become exhausting. Many performers have openly discussed dealing with anxiety, depression, burnout, and overwhelming pressure. Constant travel separates them from their families for long periods. Injuries threaten careers overnight. Public criticism spreads across social media within minutes after every televised appearance. Even the biggest stars have admitted that hearing thousands of fans cheer one night and criticize them the next can be emotionally draining. Every mistake is analysed online. Every performance is judged instantly. For years, these struggles remained hidden because wrestling culture often encouraged performers to appear strong, regardless of what they were experiencing privately. Fortunately, More recent generations have become increasingly open about discussing mental health, encouraging others to seek help when needed. One of the darkest chapters in WWE history revolves around controversial storylines that would almost certainly never be approved today. During previous decades, the company often pushed boundaries in pursuit of ratings. Some storylines included uncomfortable themes involving personal tragedies, family relationships, controversial stereotypes, and real-life situations that many viewers considered inappropriate. At the time, these segments generated headlines and discussion, but years later, many have been criticised as examples of entertainment going too far. Several former writers have admitted that creative teams were sometimes encouraged to shock audiences above everything else. If a storyline generated conversation, it was often viewed as successful, regardless of the controversy surrounding it. As society evolved and audience expectations changed, WWE gradually shifted toward a more family-friendly presentation. Yet many longtime fans still remember moments the company rarely highlights today. The next secret reveals how fragile a wrestling career can truly be. Fans often believe that a superstar's future depends entirely on talent, but sometimes everything changes because of one unfortunate moment. A single injury can erase years of hard work. A missed opportunity can push another performer into the spotlight instead. Some wrestlers suffered career-ending injuries just as they were about to become world champions. Others lost momentum after recovering because storylines had already moved on without them. Timing plays an enormous role in professional wrestling. Being healthy at the right moment, connecting with audiences, and earning management's confidence all have to come together at exactly the same time. History is filled with what-if stories, superstars who possessed incredible potential but never reached the top because circumstances beyond their control changed everything. Another secret many fans never considered is how carefully WWE protects surprises. Returns, debuts, championship victories, and shocking betrayals require absolute secrecy. To prevent spoilers, information is often shared with only a small number of people. Wrestlers have occasionally learned about surprise appearances only moments before walking through the entrance curtain. Production staff may receive incomplete instructions until the last possible second. Despite these precautions, leaks still happen. Social media, backstage conversations, and insider reports sometimes reveal major surprises before they air, frustrating both fans and company officials. Because of this, WWE has become increasingly protective of backstage access, limiting information to preserve those unforgettable moments that make wrestling so exciting. As unbelievable as these revelations may sound, the biggest secrets are still waiting. The stories ahead involve shocking controversies, unexpected betrayals, and real-life incidents that forever changed WWE history. Some of them damaged careers, others transformed the wrestling business forever, and a few remain among the most talked about mysteries in professional wrestling even today. As the years passed, fans slowly began realizing that some of the biggest moments in WWE history weren't planned months in advance. In fact, several unforgettable scenes happened because something went completely wrong. While WWE presents itself as a perfectly produced television show, live entertainment is unpredictable, and sometimes reality takes over. There have been matches where equipment failed, entrances malfunctioned, and communication between officials completely broke down. Referees have occasionally been forced to make split-second decisions after injuries or unexpected situations changed everything. In some cases, the ending of a match had to be altered on the spot because a superstar was physically unable to continue. What makes these moments fascinating is how seamlessly everyone tries to hide the chaos. Commentators continue speaking as if everything is normal. Camera operators quickly avoid showing problems. Production crews work behind the scenes at incredible speed to keep millions of viewers from noticing what actually happened. Most fans never realize how many disasters are prevented before they ever reach television. Another dark secret involves the intense competition that exists even among friends. WWE is filled with athletes chasing the same dream, but there are only a limited number of championship opportunities, premium event matches, and main event positions. Because of that, friendships are constantly tested. Many wrestlers have admitted that seeing close friends receive promotions while they remained in the background created feelings of frustration. Some learned to celebrate each other's success, while others quietly struggled with disappointment. Imagine spending years training alongside someone, traveling together every week, and sharing hotel rooms, only to watch them become the face of the company while your own career stalls. Those emotions are rarely visible on television, but they have shaped countless careers behind the scenes. Competition has always been part of professional wrestling, but balancing friendship with ambition is often much harder than fans realize. Another closely guarded secret is how much WWE depends on audience reactions. Even when it appears the company has a long-term plan, creative teams may spend months preparing a superstar for greatness. But if the crowd refuses to connect with that performer, everything can change almost overnight. Likewise, wrestlers who weren't originally expected to become stars have sometimes received massive opportunities simply because audiences couldn't stop cheering them. This unpredictability has rewritten WWE history more than once. There have been occasions where villains became fan favourites, despite being written as hated characters. Heroes have suddenly received loud boos from audiences who wanted something different. Entire championship plans have reportedly changed because of one unforgettable crowd reaction. Fans often believe they're simply watching the show, but in many ways, they are helping write it. One of the most controversial secrets involves the pressure surrounding championships themselves. To viewers, a championship belt represents victory inside the storyline. Behind the curtain, however, it also represents trust. Winning a championship often means becoming one of the company's public representatives. Champions attend interviews, charity events, media appearances, international tours, and promotional campaigns. Because of those responsibilities, management doesn't simply ask who deserves the title based on wrestling ability. They also consider reliability, professionalism, communication skills, public image, and business value. This explains why some incredibly talented wrestlers waited years before receiving championship opportunities, while others rose surprisingly quickly. Being champion means carrying the company, not just carrying a championship belt. Another secret that has become increasingly discussed involves how difficult life can be after leaving WWE. Many fans assume that once a superstar's contract ends, they simply move on to another opportunity. The reality is often far more complicated. For years, WWE becomes a wrestler's entire life. Their daily schedule, identity, travel routine, friendships, and career all revolve around one company. Leaving means starting over. Some former stars successfully reinvent themselves through other wrestling promotions, acting careers, podcasts, coaching, or business ventures. Others struggle to find the same level of success they once enjoyed under WWE's massive global spotlight. The emotional adjustment can be just as difficult as the professional one. Several former performers have spoken openly about missing the excitement of live crowds, weekly television, and the unique feeling of walking through the entrance curtain in front of thousands of cheering fans. Another secret involves the incredible amount of preparation hidden behind every televised event. Fans usually see only a few hours of programming, but preparations begin long before the cameras start rolling. Production crews spend hours assembling lighting systems, massive video screens, entrance stages, sound equipment, commentary stations, and camera positions. Medical staff remain on standby throughout every show. Referees memorize important match details. Commentators review storylines and statistics. Camera operators rehearse complicated movements. Stage managers coordinate entrances to the second. Dozens of departments work together, so viewers experience what appears to be effortless entertainment. When everything runs smoothly, audiences rarely think about the thousands of small details required to make the show happen. Perhaps one of WWE's most carefully protected secrets is how difficult it can be for new talent to reach the main roster. Many wrestlers spend years training before ever appearing on national television. Even after signing with WWE, there are no guarantees. Athletes often relocate, completely change their lifestyles, learn television production techniques, improve microphone skills, adapt to new wrestling styles, and spend years developing characters before receiving meaningful opportunities. Some succeed, others quietly disappear before fans ever learn their names. The journey to becoming a WWE superstar is far longer and more challenging than most people imagine. Finally, one of the biggest secrets isn't about championships, backstage politics, or controversial storylines. It's about perception. WWE has mastered the art of controlling emotion. Every entrance is designed to create excitement. Every camera angle is carefully selected. Every piece of entrance music is chosen to make fans feel something. Every dramatic pause, surprise return, emotional speech, and shocking betrayal is created to keep audiences emotionally invested. Even knowing that wrestling is scripted doesn't stop millions of fans from celebrating victories, feeling heartbreak during defeats, or becoming emotionally attached to their favourite superstars. That ability to create genuine emotion through planned entertainment is perhaps WWE's greatest achievement and one of its biggest secrets. The company doesn't simply produce wrestling matches, it creates unforgettable memories that remain with fans for years, sometimes decades. But despite all the spectacle, all the fireworks, and all the larger-than-life personalities, the hidden world behind the curtain is often far more dramatic than anything shown inside the ring. And believe it or not, the final secrets are the most shocking of all. They involve moments that change WWE forever, stories that still spark debate among fans today, and revelations that continue to shape the future of professional wrestling. The final secret is perhaps the most surprising because it isn't about one wrestler, one championship, or one controversial decision. It's about the illusion that WWE has perfected over decades. The company has always understood that wrestling's at its best when fans are emotionally invested. Every rivalry, every comeback, every shocking betrayal, and every championship victory is carefully designed to make audiences feel something unforgettable. But behind that emotional connection is a business that constantly evolves. Heroes become villains, villains become heroes. Legends return when the timing is right. New stars are created while others quietly fade into the background. Every decision involves balancing entertainment, business, fan expectations, television ratings, sponsorships, and the future of the company. That balancing act isn't always perfect. Throughout WWE's history, there have been moments that fans believed would never happen. Popular superstars were unexpectedly released. Long-awaited pushes suddenly disappeared. Championship reigns ended without warning. Rivalries that seemed destined for greatness were quietly abandoned. Sometimes the reasons were creative. Sometimes they were financial. Sometimes they were completely personal. Those unanswered questions have fueled wrestling discussions for decades. Another secret many fans overlook is how quickly public opinion can change inside professional wrestling. One year, a superstar can be the most beloved performer in the company. The next, that same person may struggle to connect with audiences. WWE has witnessed countless examples where fan reactions changed almost overnight. Instead of fighting those reactions forever, the company has often adjusted its plans. Characters have been reinvented, storylines rewritten, alliances broken apart, new rivalries created. This constant adaptation is one of the reasons WWE has survived for generations, while many competing promotions disappeared. The company understands that wrestling fans are passionate, unpredictable, and impossible to control forever. Perhaps that's why so many of WWE's greatest moments happened when reality blended with fiction, when genuine emotion entered a promo, when an unexpected injury forced everyone to improvise, when a returning legend shocked an entire arena, when thousands of fans began chanting for someone management hadn't planned to push. Those unscripted reactions often became the moments people remembered the most. Another dark truth is that not every superstar receives the farewell they deserve. Professional wrestling moves incredibly fast. New talent arrives every year. Fresh storylines demand attention. Before long, even legendary careers can quietly come to an end. Some wrestlers receive emotional retirement ceremonies in front of packed arenas, while others wrestle their final WWE match without anyone realizing it will be their last. Years later, fans look back and wonder why those careers ended so quietly. The answer is often more complicated than anyone expected. Business decisions, injuries, contract negotiations, changing creative plans, and personal priorities all play a role. Not every ending gets the Hollywood treatment. One final secret reminds us that WWE has become far more than just a wrestling company. It has grown into a global entertainment brand with millions of fans across every continent. Movies, streaming platforms, video games, documentaries, merchandise, international tours, charity work, media appearances. Every one of those areas influences decisions made inside the wrestling ring. What fans see on television is only one part of a much larger machine, operating behind the scenes. Understanding that doesn't make wrestling less enjoyable. If anything, it makes the performances even more impressive. Knowing what these athletes endure, the demanding travel, the physical punishment, the constant pressure, the unpredictable schedules, and the responsibility of performing live in front of millions, creates a deeper respect for everyone who steps through those ropes. The biggest secret WWE never wanted fans to know may simply be this. Behind every larger-than-life superstar is an ordinary person making extraordinary sacrifices to entertain the world. Every cheer they hear has been earned. Every championship has a story behind it. Every unforgettable moment represents countless hours of preparation that audiences never see. The magic of WWE has never been that everything is real. The magic is that it feels real enough for millions of people to care, and perhaps that's why professional wrestling continues to captivate generations of fans. Because even after learning about the backstage politics, hidden struggles, controversial decisions, and carefully protected secrets, people still tune in every single week. They still celebrate the victories. They still debate the rivalries. They still remember the legends. And they still believe that the next unforgettable moment could happen at any time. That's what makes WWE unlike any other form of entertainment. If you enjoyed uncovering these hidden stories and want more deep dives into wrestling's biggest mysteries, legendary careers, shocking controversies, and untold history, make sure you subscribe to Ring Insights and turn on notifications so you never miss our next documentary. Which of these dark secrets surprised you the most? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video, right here on Ring Insights.